This is another shop. This is Honeywell Lane. Now this is an old Roman road. Before Fitton Hill was built, it was an old Roman road that ran through lots of fields and farmland. And this is Honeywell Lane. The junction to Ashton Road and Hollins Road is just behind me. And this is Addishaw. Honeywell Lane Methodist Church on Honeywell Lane in Hathershaw. Now this here is up in the middle of Honeywell Lane. Pen Animal Rescue does some really good work. There used to be a clinic when I was a little girl. Everybody used to go there for the baby milk. And I seem to remember it being the doctor's surgery as well. Dr. Dutta was the doctor there. I think he was an Indian man, if anybody remembers him. And then up here we have Belgrave Mills. Here's Kinloch Gardens, which is the site that used to be where they had some tower blocks here in the 80s. And before that, I think it was around the wartime possibly. They had little prefabs here which were bungalows. I'm sure some of the older members will remember that. There's Belgrave Mill and Honeywell Lane looking down. So here's Belgrave Mills looking over across Honeywell Lane over to Bloddick. This was an old Roman road, as I said before. Which led up to Hartshead Pike, which was the old Roman watchtower. So the Romans would come down this road and up to the watchtower to look out for the enemy, I guess. There we have Honeywell Lane, Belgrave Mills. This is going down Honeywell Lane now. Clipso Hair Salon's been there a good few years. When I was a little girl it was there. Old school friend's house there. Sure you know who you are if you're watching. These are all new. Well, they're not new anymore, but they're new from when I was a little girl. New builds, which were on the area of Kinloch Gardens. And then down here is the corner shops. Now, I lived on Belgrave Road when I was a little girl, and these three little shops here were our three local shops. This is the Belgrave Road. Now this is what we called the posh end. It had all the big bought houses. And that's the corner shop. It's still a corner shop now. And this was Belgrave Road, and one side was all privately bought houses. And this side here on the left was the council houses. Passing all my old neighbours' houses here. Some of you might recognise them. My old neighbour's house is up for sale, sold. No ball games here. This is actually my old house. I lived here until I was about 11 or 12. Used to have a really big back garden. Now I've got a guard dog. So here's Thatcher Street. This is like the gateway really to Fitton Hill, because there's Belgrave Road onto Thatcher Street, and just up here there used to be a little ginnel. If you're not from round here, a ginnel's like a little passageway, and it used to be a muddy with a big puddle in it, and you would go around there to take a shortcut to school. But now it's obviously all blocked off, and we have to go right up the road around Belgrave Mill. So here we are at the other side of Belgrave Mills, and this is the entry to Fitton Hill officially. Belgrave Road was classed as Hathershaw, and then Keswick Avenue, which we're on now, was Fitton Hill. So yes, so we're going to head down Keswick Avenue. See, that was the way out of the ginnel which was our little shortcut through to school. Yeah, there's some work going on back there at the mill. Let's walk down to where Fitton Hill Junior School was, and I'll show you what it's like there now. Look here, we still have the school sign for Fitton Hill Junior School, which is no longer there. Looks slightly different now, doesn't it? Yeah, this was the driveway which went down to Fitton Hill Juniors. So in effect, I'm walking down to Fitton Hill Junior School entrance now. Now, if you look where that red car is, just in front, that's where the entrance was. And to the left, the little house with trees outside, that was the head teacher's office. We had Mrs. Mayhew in the 80s, and after Mrs. Mayhew we had Mr. Massey, who always insisted on calling me Natalie for some reason, but yeah. So just outside the little head teacher's office there, she used to plant beautiful little crocuses, if anybody remembers Mrs. Mayhew. She had a little patch just outside of her office with beautiful little crocuses in. Now this side here, it's totally new street names now and new builds. This was the big field where we had sports day, and there were lots of trees around it. It was just like a big field, and the dining room was somewhere around here. Fitton Hill Junior School dining room, and then the big field. So here we'd have the staff room and the head teacher's office, and the main entrance, which is where the red car, around where the red car is now. Then across here would be the school playground. This used to be the school playground. Up on that side, where those houses are just on the right, it was like a sloped area with little trees on. We used to, yeah, it was fun on the little slopes. We used to slide down them and stuff. And then this was all the main school just around here. But as you get to the end over here, this is, there was a fence right at the end where those houses are now, and it went down to the hill. Do you all remember the hill? It was a very big grassy hill with a bottom playground at the bottom, if anybody remembers it. And you were very privileged if you got to go and play rounders on the bottom playground, because this was the top. And see, you can see still see part of the hill just there. Looking across there, that's Medlock Valley down there, leading to Park Bridge. So we are at the very bottom of what was the hill, and I'm presuming that is, would it be Tip Road? Let me know. See, now up there, we would have been down on the bottom of the school playground, and this is how we'd go up to the school up at the top. So this path is kind of, I remember it being windy like this up to the top to the school. So it's probably very similar. We used to go up and round back up to the school. So yeah, that's basically where Fitton Hill Juniors used to be, from the bottom of the hill. So yeah, there's a little playground up here. So this would have been, actually, would have been my old school playground. So when I was a little girl, Lucy, I used to play here. Yes, that was the school. So now we're coming back down Keswick Avenue. If you can see in the distance, that's the big roundabout. It used to be just grass, but they've since planted lots of trees and bushes on there. Yeah, we're going to turn left here at Southcroft. This is the route to Fitton Hill Infant School. Now, I've not Google mapped this or anything. The last time I came here, it was just an old playground with the school knocked down. many years ago. So I'm very interested to see what is happening round here. So let's go round Southcroft and take a look. There used to be a ginnel up there to the green, to the shops. Many kids would come home from school this way, cross over there and head up to the shops on the green. But we're going to turn around Southcroft. Now, across there, if you go down where those workmen are just there, you can end up in Parkbridge, Medlock Valley, Parkbridge. That's the route to a nice day out. But yeah, we'll just have a little peep at Northcroft. Now, Northcroft was where all the old people lived. Well, in bungalows. We used to do litter picking around there when we was at infant school. I don't know if it's still the same now, so we'll have a little peep. Little peep round here. Northcroft. I think it's probably much the same, much like Sportsman's Drive, with the little bungalows for the elderly. This hasn't changed, I don't think, much in many, many years, probably since it was built. Not where we have Northcroft. I'm going to turn here because we're going to head that way to Southcroft and take a look at the infant school. So this is Southcroft. Very quiet now. It used to be really, really busy. But anyhow, babysitting in the house up there. You know who you are if you're watching. And this was the main walk to infant school. That's Southcroft over there now. My dad used to be caretaker at this school in late 70s, early 80s. And the head teacher was Mrs. Roebuck. And then it changed to Mrs. Parker. But this was Mrs. Roebuck used to come out here and do maypole dancing on this field out here on Southcroft. Not sure. Maybe they did it on the school field now and then, but they did used to actually do it out here on the croft. Maybe just to be part of the community in those days. Now, this doesn't look good. Doesn't look like we're going to get through to where the school used to be. It does look gated and sealed off, and it's probably just wasteland now, to be honest. But we'll go see what we can see. Yeah, I have got this one here with me, so apologies. Oh no, the gate is open. Come on, let's take a quick look, eh? Old gates, old school. So, we've come through the gates. We're going to have a little look at where the old Fitton Hill infant school used to be. It was Fitton Hill County infant school. I remember it printed in books. Fitton Hill County infant school. It looks like it's still the playground down here. So we'll take a little look and see. Now here would have been the area where the gate was to the playground. Big iron gates, and here, where it's all bushes now, the dining room would have been there, and the nursery across that way. The dining room would have been here, and big steel bins, and they're green. I remember them being green. Were they ever any other colour? Maybe some of the older people who know this area would remember. They were certainly green when my dad worked here. Now this is the old Fitton Hill Infant School playground. As you can see, nothing's been done with it in all these years. They knocked it down and just left it to rot, basically. Yeah, so this is... It looks really small now. I mean, I'm 45, so it's quite a good few years ago since I was here. I did come back here on work experience and worked in the nursery. But, yeah, that basically there is the old field, the playground, and that's where the school would have been. All gone now. So yes, here I am in Fitton Hill Infants Playground. Woo! Gosh, a good 40 years on. We're heading back out. This would have been the way out of school. There's not much to see apart from grass and trees. It's basically just wasteland now. So we're out of the school area now, and this is South Croft again. We're going to head up to Hill Farm Close now. Now Hill Farm Close was knocked down. I think he was knocked down before the school was actually knocked down. And Hill Farm Close is still a derelict piece of land. So here we have Hill Farm Close. You go that way, you end up back on Keswick Avenue, just across from the green. And the old houses used to be all around here. It's a very popular street, Hill Farm Close. I think it went further down back that way. I think there was actually like two of these like crofts, if you call them that. And across there is the new Medlock Valley or Medlock Vale Infants and Juniors Combined School, which they built in place of the juniors and the infants, which we just visited the sites of. So yes, this is Hill Farm. I'm sure it went down there and there was a second Hill Farm Croft. I don't think it had a different name. Maybe somebody will correct me. I'm sure they were both classed as Hill Farm. That's the old school, and then across to Keswick and South Croft. As you can see, needs a bit of a clean up here. So this is Hill Farm. We're going to go down here. I'm going to take you to the site of Fitton Hill Senior School. I think I mentioned before, I never actually went to the senior school. It had closed and was Hathershaw that I ended up going to in 1988. I'm not sure when the big senior school closed, but I did end up there eventually. It became the Centre for Professional Development, and I ended up working on the reception desk there. So it's strange how things work out. Is there really any need? Look, just what is wrong with people? What is wrong with them? So yeah, we're going to head on over to Fitton Hill Senior School now, which closed its doors as the Centre of Professional Development. Yeah, let's go. Now, that's Tons Road, but I'm sure that road over there, where the school is now, was that Deanshut? Deanshut Road? I seem to think it was. So here we have St Martin's School. There's a little play area here, and the school's just over there. We've got the little chairs, they've been there a long time. Got the dinner on there. Yeah, let's go down. So, in the play area, just outside St Martin's. Those are the houses up there. Is it Broad Oak Crescent up there? And many of you would have come to school this way, to the big school, I'm sure. So on St Martin's Road, there's St Martin's, and just up there is where Park Dean School used to be. Fun about this place, this is Newbridge Learning Centre. This is what was Park Dean School. So yeah, we went there to the dentist. The dentist used to be within that. There's St Martin's just over there. We're going to head down to the old senior school. And here we have Faircroft Road, which was just opposite the school. And back in my day, up at the top of there was the big fir tree flats. Got very windy around there. There were flats, big tower block and shops. And the Ace pub's also up there. We'll have another little look up there in a little while. I just want to show you the site of the old senior school. Again, just grassed over, bushes, trees, pretty much the same as the infant school. There's only the junior school that's been redeveloped. The infants and the senior school remain pretty much just left to rot. Here's the gates. And yeah, that was the entrance to the senior school at Fitton Hill. Springwoodall Road. Springwoodall Road, but we've not there. You can see just over through the gate. That's what's left. See playing fields at the back. But that's all what's left, folks. Just left to rot again. So there we have the schoolhouse. And we still got the sign for the Centre for Professional Development main car park here. So yeah, that's where you would turn to get up into the car park and the old schoolhouse. A lot different from many years ago. Now this is Rosary Road. My grandma lived down here in a little flat. So I'm going to go around this way. And then I'll take you back up into Fitton Hill. Yeah, we'll head down Rosary Road and I'll point out some other bits to you as we go along. Now this is a new one for me. I've never seen these before. I have been down to the old school before, but these are obviously new builds, Bowbank Close. Don't know when those arrived, but that's new. And it looks like there's quite a few more new ones down here where the old flats used to be. There were quite a lot of blocks of flats down here. Yeah, we'll head down. These all along here, right down to the bottom it looks like, are all new houses on Rosary Road that used to be flats. They were like sets of flats with grassy areas in the middle. All gone now, by the looks of it. I've never actually seen these streets before, which is really different. I found something new. Boxton Close. I would never have known these were here. Now that was a shortcut for many people. I think that went through to Greenhurst Crescent maybe. I think there's an old people's home there now. That's the hill up to Fitton Hill Seniors. So we'll go back down here. Yeah, this is Rosary Road. All new builds now. A lot different from when they were big blocks of flats. The bungalows are still here. So this would have been round about where the flats were where my grandma lived. It's now Sunnybrow Close. This is the way you would have probably gone home from school if you lived in Bardsley. This is Marlandfold Lane, and it goes down onto Ashton Road. That's the way you'd get through to Bardsley. Right down at the bottom of Fitton Hill now, Westerhill Road on the left over there. So we're at Crossways Chip Shop, what was. It's not a chip shop anymore. And that's Rosary Road down there. Sign for Holy Rosary, Roman Catholic Infant and Junior School. Not much going on over there. You can see, I think that's Belfield Mill. So yeah, this is where you would have played if you went to Holy Rosary. Still with the old OMBC sign. This is Holy Rosary Church, Roman Catholic Church, and the school attached just down there. Believe the church is going to be knocked down, but it has some kind of something of historic value inside, but it can't be knocked down right at the moment, from what I gather. Now, the vicar of St Cuthbert's Church, anybody remember him? Old vicar? He used to live in that house there. I don't suppose it's a vicar's house anymore, but that's where he lived. And this is the school, Holy Rosary Primary. I'm sure some people watching will remember going to this school. Now, I presume the field at the back's just not used or sold off. I don't know. So this is Hawthorne Crescent, halfway up Beechwood. I can't believe how quiet it is. It's like lunchtime here. Going down Beechwood Road. So this is the site of the old St Cuthbert's Church. Pretty sad. So that's Tanner's Fold. And we're going to head on back out onto Fir Tree Avenue. So this is the bottom of Tanner's Fold. And here was Fir Tree Flats. It's now the housing office. And just there was the youth club and library. Now gone. And we have the new library and doctor's surgery, Hilltop, just across the road. Broad Oak Crescent, and that's the Ace pub, the only surviving one on Fitton Hill. It's the old Fitton Hill shops, and we're heading back up here because we're hoping to go in the library at 2 if it opens. We can keep our fingers crossed. But yeah, this is the new neighbourhood centre. It has a library in it and a doctor's surgery. So this now is Keswick Avenue, the big main roundabout. Now, this was probably one of the main first roads built on Fitton Hill. It was all farmland before here, and a man called Edmund Fitton had quite a big plot of land here, little house and farmland, and that's why it's named Fitton Hill. And the pub which was around the corner was named the Fitton Arms. This is my old house, and I think the same people have lived here since my mum left. So if we look back across there, that's Hill Farm close, where I took you earlier. And then it looks like where the Fitton Arms was is being redeveloped into housing. So I'll take you around the green. These are the new shops. Well, I call them new. They're not really new. But long ago, there were shops here. This is where the green shops used to be. There were shops along the bottom, and then up top, little flats. I don't know what the name for them was now, but there were shops with flats up on the top. And then these are the new shops, which are actually across the road from where the old shops used to be. And then we have these whole new streets. Again, I'm calling them new. They're new from when I lived here. They're not actually new. Not as recently new as the houses that we showed you down on Rosary Road. So yeah, that's across the green and the new shops. You can see the way across there from the green. You can see Hartshead Pike. So here's Wood Park Close, and that was the cut through to the spur, and then it goes right round to the shops again. Now we're at the junction at what was the Green and Sportsman Drive and Dowry Street. So Sportsman's Drive goes back down to across the road from the junior school where we were before. We're going to head down Dowry Street and have a look where Maple Mill used to stand. Now it looks like all these houses on Dowry Street have been done up. They've all been painted. They used to all be pebble dash. So you can see some of the mill over there, and just down here on the right used to be Maple Mill, which got burned down. And this is what remains of Maple Mill. This is Dowry Street. Maple Mill stood there, now just rubble. This is the very edge of Fitton Hill again. Those houses over there are Hathershaw and back down to Ashton Road. I'm going to go along Litchings Crescent now. I think this one's always been a quiet road, but it'll lead us back up to where the library is. So I've just come down the spur and I'm now on Wildbrook Crescent. Wildbrook Crescent, there used to be a ginnel up there, what led through to Wood Park Close. All quiet. Hathershaw. This is the end of Fitton Hill at this end on Fir Tree Avenue. And here's Ashton Road. I thought I'd end with Parkgate Bakeries and those iconic blue and white tiles. Thanks for watching.